Hey, it's Scotty. So, I have to rant about Petco. It's not something that I want to do. I live in a rural area, and when I run out of food, it's pretty much the only option out here is Petco to go get guinea pig food. And every time I go in there, they have a bunch of piggies. Right now there's 5 boy piggies, and they're all living in one. It's a large you know enclosure. It's like the roundish one. It's not like a little aquarium. It's like the roundish one that's like a display enclosure. But there's 5 boys that are about 3 months old, 3 months old in there. And every time I go in there, their pellet bowl is almost empty, and they have 2 bowls. One's a pellet bowl, and the other is a hay bowl, and that already is problematic. So there's 5 piggies in there, and they have basically no hay. It doesn't matter if I go in there in the afternoon, if I go in there at night, if I go in there right before closing, or whatever time I go in there, there's never any hay for these guinea pigs. And I've told them that guinea pigs need hay. Every time I talk to somebody, they essentially give me some corporate BS about how, oh, we can only feed them at certain times, we can only feed them a certain amount. And so I try to explain that I've been volunteering at the Los Angeles Guinea Pig Rescue for many years, and that guinea pigs should always have hay. It's 80% of their diet. This person tonight was actually probably the worst that I've talked to, because she said, look, they have food, and it was like the tiniest bottom of a pellet bowl. And so I tried to explain that, pellets are basically supplemental vitamins and minerals, but 80% of a guinea pig's diet should be hay, and that a guinea pig should have basically its body mass, the size of its body should be a big pile of hay for each guinea pig. And there was basically like tiny little strands at the bottom of the bedding, just kind of spread around. And basically, and I said, so are you going to feed them at the end? And it was basically 10 minutes before closing, and she said, no, we can't feed them until the morning. And I said, so you're telling me that the guinea pigs are not going to have any food all night? And she said, no, they have pellets. You can see there's food right there. And I said, well, that's not even really enough for one guinea pig all night, much less 5 guinea pigs. And I also told her that when guinea pigs don't have enough food, they are more likely to fight. And I tried to reiterate my experience, and she said, I have no doubt of your experience and no doubt of your knowledge, and that you know more than I do, but I can't do anything about it. And I said, so I'm telling you that these guinea pigs don't have enough food, and you have a bag of food right here, and you won't put it in. And she's like, I can't. And it just kind of went on and on and on and around in circles. And I pulled out my phone and I looked up. I just talked into my microphone, and I said, I just did a search. I said, guinea pig diet, or what do guinea pigs eat? And it popped up, and the first thing it said was unlimited hay. And she, acknowledged that. And I said, see how easy it is to learn about proper care of the animals that you sell. And, and I was like, I'm not trying to get in a fight with you. I'm not trying to, cause trouble. I just don't understand every time. And I told her, every time I come in here, it's the same thing. There's always excuses. The guinea pigs literally never have hay. And like the last 10 times I've gone in there, because basically I order my food through Small Pet Select, and when I run out, it still takes a couple days to get more. And so sometimes I have to go, and this is over the course of the entire summer, every once in a while, every week or 2 weeks or so, I have to go to Petco and get food, and they never have hay. And so then finally I was just like, well, if I stuff hay from this bag into these little holes, will you look the other way? And she was like, I don't care. and walked off. And I know that, you know, she's not getting paid enough to take a stand. She has no power within the corporate structure, and that's just how it is. But it was completely evident that she does not care, that the entire Petco does not care. Unfortunately, they're the only game in town. You know, sometimes we need to go there to get food or supplies or whatever it may be. And I'm not telling you not to shop there, you know, because if Petco were to close, then there would be basically, you know, the only places to get pet food would be Walmart. So, you know, that's just the reality of it in a rural area, and I understand that. And I don't want to boycott them. I want them to be more responsible. So I stuffed a whole bunch of hay into the top is like a metal lid with little holes in it, like, you know, half an inch. And so I'm basically stuffing hay into the holes, and as soon as I did, all the pigs are like running to it. The hay landed on a little plastic igloo. The pigs are like jumping on top of it. They start popcorning and zooming as soon as, and I just sat there and I stuffed, you know, 5 handfuls of hay into these little holes. And you know, these pigs are not getting enough food when the way they respond to hay is like as if I would have given them, you know, the finest artisan lettuce or you know, strawberries, or I don't know what it was. Like, they're just, and it sets up a condition where these pigs will not be eating much hay. You know, they'll be less interested in hay. I do get messages all the time. People say, oh, my guinea pig for some reason doesn't like to eat hay. Well, it's probably because they grew up not eating very much hay and crappy pellets, and it just sets up a malnutrition for their entire life. So this is just a rant. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe you guys have some suggestions. I talked to them before, and they gave me a number of some regional person, and that person, because not only that, every time you check out, there's a little screenshot that says, you know, on the little checkout thing that says, would you like to help homeless animals today? It's like, yeah, I am, but you guys are not, because you're selling animals that are already in the pet shops, you know. So I reached out to their regional somebody or other, and they connected me with somebody that works on the rescue side of things. Whoa, there's a really giant cricket that just landed over here. Anyways, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I just felt like I had to capture this moment, and maybe you guys have experienced the same thing. I've gotten nowhere trying to call people in corporate, and it just kills me to think that all across the country, all across the state, there's pet shops like this that just don't treat their animals right, and they use the corporate structure as a defense for why they won't do anything. You know, if that was me and someone explained that to me and I didn't know, and then I did know, you know, oh, it's against store policy to feed your animals after a certain time, even if they don't have any food or whatever, that's probably why I'd end up getting fired. That's probably why I work for myself, because I'm not going to follow rules that cause the suffering of innocent creatures. It's just not how I roll. So anyways, thank you guys for indulging me. If you want to see my care guide playlist, it's right here. It's an entire playlist of all things guinea pig care. You know, there's over 100 videos in that playlist. I really hope you'll check it out and hit that like button if maybe this was not a fun video, but at least if you identify with what I'm talking about, hit that like button. Maybe more people will get a chance to see it. All right, thanks for watching.